everyone. Hello. Welcome
Hi.
back. It's D&D time. The best time. Dragonlance time.
Hey.
And Care's life.
Hey, what's up?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Dungeons and Disasters: A Tale in Dragonlance, where we rejoin our party as they make their way all the way across the streets, and hopefully this session they will make it to the door. We'll find out within the next hour or two. Who would like to do tonight's recap?
Oh, I 100% know I did the recap last time, so I'm bowing out.
Oh, okay. Let me check my notes. I think I can do it.
Come on,
Speaking of
honestly, like last
notes,
session shouldn't be too hard. We side quested so
you
bad.
fucking
It was
did
like
nothing but
you,
side
you ever watch
quests.
Naruto and the 367 episodes that
Yeah.
aren't important? Like, that
Stopped
was one of
after
them.
episode 6.
It was a
So,
filler.
This would be a really good time to use the session notes tab to remember things like that.
That's true. I
We can
wrote
try.
um let's see. I wrote that Sarah, who I think is the I forgot the steel whatever. Sorry, brain not working. The group that Shy's character works for, that Blink works for. The people that we found in the tavern, they said they worked for Sarah, but Blink told us that Sarah had died 100 years ago during the Chaos War. As we were walking to Jaquez, we were being tailed by a kinder that Jace said was a female. Blink walked up to them, lured them into an alley, was told their name was Arlo, and was let's see, and Blink introduced themselves as Barnabas. Had this whole bit about trying to get him religious. After they left, they were kind of hunted through the streets by us, which ended with them getting injured after having net thrown on them, and they Misty stepped onto a rooftop in which Blink shot them with an arrow. Gemini attempted to question them under the pretense that she was not with the rest of the group, but the person swore up and down that they were just trying to meet some friends, did not know who they were, was not telling them in any way, and they really could not find any proof to support otherwise, so they let her go. Finding out that after removing a magical ring that it was actually a female, and she used it to, according to her, keep herself safe as she traveled through the city.
I'm still not entirely convinced, Gabo.
That she was telling the truth?
Yeah, oh yeah. There's still a thread of doubt.
I know.
For sure.
No, I'm not either, but I didn't know what else to ask, and also, like, she was passing all of my insight checks. I'm like, I can't do anything with this.
She's mad sus.
She's mad sus. She's completely mad sus. But she stayed.
Well, maybe tonight's session you'll figure out a little bit more in that
Yeah, she
little mystery.
did reveal that she worked for some sort of spy group, but we wouldn't give us any further information, so we'll probably find that out in a really bad way today. And then we arrived at the door outside Chuck West's place.
Beautifully done.
Yay.
Yeah. Blink, do a mic check.
I'm here.
Okay, I just want to make sure because every time you start talking after we do a recap, you are somehow muted.
I have
All right.
audio interface.
So, as Gabo just said, you are now standing outside of the Bonaparte Manor with your friends in tow. Or, actually, you made it just inside, if I'm not mistaken. You were let in by a butler.
We did our hi hellos, and I believe we're
Did your
waiting in
highs
a
and
room
hellos,
for
and
Jaquez.
he was leading you down the halls. So let me just take a little. This little marker right here is going to be the butler that's leading you, because there's not exactly a butler token, so you just have to use me. All right, so he leads you over to this door, opens it, and then down this hall, which Blink and Gemini would find a sense of familiarity, as these halls are very similarly constructed to the previous manor. Just as it looks on the outside, it seems to be the same on the inside. As this man stands beside the door and opens it for you to enter into this room.
And I'll nod my head as a thank you.
Yes, of course, sir. Enjoy your stay. I shall return to my duties. Lord Bonaparte be with you momentarily. Yes.
He gives a quick bow and makes his way back down the halls, disappearing around the corner. Your companions are with you.
I've never met this Jaquez. Is there anything I should know about him before we meet?
He is a nobleman of considerable influence with a tendency to piss people off and get himself into trouble. But I do not think he is a bad person.
Right. Explains the whole prison break situation.
He was the only one, I don't know if we told you this, in the first city that we ran from. The lords had abandoned the people there, withdrawing all of the troops and taking them with us, or with the lords. Jaquez was the only one that stayed, and the only one that attempted to help the people before the attack came.
Well, you can admire an honorable man when you see one. And the king seems to have trust in him.
Indeed.
This is such a funny word.
They have a strange relationship, yes.
Right. Well, what's this Jaquez waiting for?
After you. Is he in this room? We walk in.
Oh, I believe we're
No,
waiting
you have
for
been.
him.
Yeah, you've been
Oh.
led into the waiting room, which is almost a carbon copy of the room that you were in when you first met Jacquez. He really seems to like this style, and there's definitely not an excuse for me to reuse a map.
He has very particular tastes.
Yeah, Ralph might be admiring some of the curios in the room.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of trinkets in here, trophies. There's a few exotic looking instruments over here that Chomp seems to be messing with.
Chomp, don't touch that.
This says as he just presses one of the keys on the piano and jumps. Is there anything you'd like to discuss, Blink, before we continue with the scene?
No, I'm just following.
All right. As you all stand in this room waiting for your host to arrive, you hear a quick knock at the door. As it opens, you see a very familiar pet folk. A good day to you all. I hope the travel was well. Not too strenuous, I hope. 30 minutes of walking can be quite bothersome. That is why I prefer other means of travel.
I look over at Jace. What's her reaction to him just kind of casually walking in like that? Do you have any reaction?
You ever see a cat? You ever see a cat growl at something?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was very not happy with him, and seeing him right now is not making that any easier for her.
Yep. Okay.
He does not seem to have taken notice of her yet because she was right next to the door, and he
Yep.
was looking at y'all. I appreciate all of you taking the time to come by. How is the king, if I may ask?
He was unexpected, I think, to most of us. And I will admit your relationship with him is confusing to me.
Ah, yes, he is a noble man, truly a perfect description of the word. He was also kind of stupid, but we keep that between us, yes? Don't worry.
Something tells me you've already informed him of that.
On numerous occasions, yes. But again, this is sidetracking. I have requested that the king relinquish you into my custody so that I may impart upon you a quest of sorts. If you are feeling up to it, of course, you are more than welcome to deny it.
I thought the. So you're the mission. Or dangerous task? Ralph, visibly confused.
Well, I myself am definitely not dangerous, no. I am but a humble nobleman, no. I am asking you to undertake a somewhat life-threatening task, but I'm certain you are up for it. Again, though, it is only if you wish it. You are more than welcome to walk away right now. I have no control over you. Your lives are your own. However, I will be paying you a very large sum of money.
Well, I'm as a knight of the king's order. I don't necess. I mean, if he's ordained it, then anything I can do in service of the crown.
Excellent. That is one on board. You'll still be getting paid though. Don't worry. I'm not going to swindle you. Oh, never. What about you two, my good old friends? He looks towards Blink and Gemini.
I turn to Blink first.
I have no qualms with it.
Neither do I. I believe this was an extension of when we met before. But if you don't mind me asking, the nature of your imprisonment and subsequent release is a little confusing to me. What exactly happened, and why exactly did you need our help to get you out of that situation?
You wish to know the series of events that led up to my arrest?
It might shed some light on things, yes? And I'll kind of glance over to Jace.
He looks over his shoulder and just kind of, oh, I did not know she was in here. Oh. Okay. I'll talk to you later, I promise. But I really must explain myself, and I feel like you'll probably shut up and tell them. Okay. So, I believe I should start the tale back when the armies marched on. What was the name of the city?
Calaman?
Parliament, yes. Sorry, back in Capital. Back when Calaman was first beset by the dragon armies, I was still only halfway done with evacuating the people of the town. I did what I could to save as many as I could, but I am only one. In the end, I was only able to save a few hundred. The rest were either killed or enslaved. I left the blacksmith. I forget his name. Cannot remember it off the top of my head, but I did inform him of a route of which he could travel underground to get somewhere safe. I have yet to hear from them, but I have hopes that they are quite well. I myself had to depart immediately.
Was this Davlin Calvaway? The dwarf.
Yes, that was him. One moment, someone's knocking on my door.
Thank you so much. One of my neighbors was kind enough to inform me that I left my keys in my door, so
Nice.
plus karma for them. Not that
Yes.
karma, the good kind of karma. Anyways, what was I? Right. We just you helped him remember the name of the dwarf. I left the refugees under his care. He seems somewhat the natural leader. The obvious choice, if you would. Anyways, sidetrack. I used ulterior means to return to this great city of Atlantis. He says in a hushed tone, I know that you two are of the magical persuasion, but what of that one? He points towards Ralph. I know nothing of this man.
No, not that we've seen, but he is aware of our inclinations.
And he is okay with this.
So far, yes.
Excellent.
I feel like Ralph would be like, just kind of like looking again at the curios, kind of drifting off in the conversation a bit as it hasn't gone anywhere that's like any gung ho enough for him.
I have lost interest in this conversation. Show me your shinies. This is good. So, certain degrees of magical control are hard to get fine-tuned, and in a spur-of-the-moment miscalculation, I may or may not have ended up in the king's throne room. So, I thought, I'm already here, so I might as well look for the king. And while I was committing to my search, I may have bumped into some guards. They asked me why I was there. I ran, and they chased me. I got cornered in his room, and I was arrested. However, my goal was always to pass along a message, which I graciously thank you for doing. It was truly helpful. Plus, I do believe you saved my life by doing that, so I technically owe you a favor.
Oh, it was nothing. It was quite easy, actually.
I like this man. He is a man of action. I shall put good use to you, do not worry. But yes, that is the series of events that led to my capture. As for the contents of that letter, I am loath to say this, but I cannot disclose it at this time. It is quite confidential, is the word. You didn't open the letter, did you, Mr. Ruff?
Oh, but of course not. That's completely out of the code of conduct of everything I was taught as a squire.
Man of action and principle. You will make a fine knight, my boy.
Thank you.
Oh, don't mention it. Now then, was that a suffice? Would that suffice as a explanation for you, Benjamin?
I believe so. Except why you needed us to do it.
Why I needed you to deliver the message?
Yes.
That's because I trust no one else. I had originally intended to have, you know who, he points over his shoulder towards Jace, who was still staring death rays at him. But she was uncooperative, so you were technically plan B.
Hey, Shay. Sorry, scaring the shit out of me. Very well. Ralph,
Whopper, Whopper, Whopper,
first
Whopper,
time
Junior,
that-
Double, Triple, Whopper,
the
Flame
first
Grill
time
taste
that-
with perfect toppers. I boom, this.
that you are meeting, Mr. Bonaparte. Is there anything that you wish to ask to get to know this potential new employer?
Please, I am an open book.
Well, your previous incarceration begs some questions, but I suppose that's been settled. And well, if the king entrusts you, then you have mine as well.
Do not have any questions? I was honestly expecting something. Very well.
I guess what is it that you do?
What is it that I do? Oh,
Yes, I mean it's quite an awful lot of things around here. How do you buy them all?
I am a financier for the king. I am also don't let this get out there, but I am a knight of the rose.
And Miles will kind of pop up. Oh, and you don't go by Sir Knight.
Oh no. I do not like the theatrics of the house I was unfortunately born into, but that is a personal quarrel I have with. I am technically a knight by title, but please just call me Bonaparte. Or Jacques. I prefer Jacques. It's more personal.
Right. Yes, I'm still getting used to the whole Sir bit.
I'm afraid you
Wasn't
never
really
will.
my upbringing, but you seem like good people, Jacques. I'm
I
sure
like this
whatever
one.
it is you have in store for us will be in the best interests of the kingdom.
Of course, everything I do is to serve king and country. And if it happens to be, financially profitable, all the better. Which leads me to my next point. If you don't mind, he guides you over to the grand piano where he has a map laid out. Come have a look at this, would you?
And what do we see?
As you gather around the table, you see a map of the northwestern side of the continent of Ancelon, where the Kingdom of Solmania takes up. It's basically just a map of Sylvania, but it's also Solmania. But it also has a good portion of the Kingdom of Kaolin. Kaolin? Yeah, Kaolin and Limish.
Okay.
It's basically just the northwestern part of the continent.
Okay. That's where No, that's northeastern. This is where Blink and Dragonfire came from.
Yep. This is the opposite direction, fortunately. He gestures towards not a city. What's that? I'm sorry, I have to read my actually have to look at my maps and legend. Where is it? There it is. Ah, yes. There is a town that is surrounding a fortress just south of Galanthus. It's about a 5 days journey. It's called Castle D. Calia. If you need me to spell that, I'll go ahead and do that. Castle is spelled as Castle. DICAELA. So that's 3 words. Castle D. Calia.
CACLA.
Oh,
CAELA.
Okay.
So if you want to put that in your notes, what is that? You made it 1 word. I was like, what is that? All right. He slides his finger from Palanthus to that point on the map and taps it a little.
This is where I need you all to go. I have... What is the word I'm looking for? Business partner that lives there. He is the lord of the area, and he has something that I believe will be vital for our plans to succeed here. What those plans may be, you may be wondering. That is, to no one's surprise, the safety, surety, and well-being and survival of this kingdom. We're going to need an army to fight off the dragon. While we might have quite a few extremely talented knights, they're not an army. They can only do so much against overwhelming numbers, and the lord of that area, he has quite a large sum of forces, one that we could use. So I am sending you to him to requisition his aid for the war effort.
Do you expect us to meet the resistance?
Oh, yes, absolutely. He was a very stubborn man. Last I checked anyway. But he should still be loyal to the king, and if he is, he should agree. So long as you can convince him.
And if he refuses, what exactly do you expect us to do?
Pray,
What was it?
pray,
Pay?
pray.
Pray.
P-R-A-Y, pray.
I think he wants us to play.
Don't stop.
I see. Well, Ralph, I'm grateful that you joined us. Your title and expertise with noblemen will prove to be invaluable in this endeavor.
Well, I mean, yes, exactly. Precisely why the king has put me on a mission such as this. But I do second your concerns, Gemini. Should we meet resistance, if this is not a peaceful parley attempt, what's supposed to be so dangerous, may I ask?
About the count? Well, he's very set in his ways. Is that the phrase I'm looking for? The common tongue is very hard for me. I apologize. He will need persuading one way or the other. Be it peacefully, if it is at all possible, I would appreciate that. But if not, force may need to be applied.
Oh. Right.
Now, I'm not sending you out on a fool's errand to pick a fight with the lord with the largest sum of forces in the kingdom. Don't get me confused. No. I am sending you to go ask a friend to save our home. And
Is he not obligated to answer the call of the crown?
you're not familiar with how politics work on the surface, are you?
No, I'm not familiar with the politics of this area.
Well, on paper, the answer is yes. All noblemen are duty-bound by their king to answer the call of war. But the further away you are from the king, the more lands you are given to have domain over, the less you have to listen to the rules.
I see.
Because the cost of consequence is outweighed by the cost of profit. If he declines to aid, in his mind's eye, he may believe he can swoop in after the knights have been demolished and save the day, and it will look great in the eyes of the public. But in reality, he would just be securing his role as the successor of the throne. At least that is what I would believe he would attempt to do. but he is still an honorable man. It's been many years since I've parlayed with him. We did not separate on great terms, so I don't know if he's changed.
Ralph, looking completely convinced now, and kind of all doubt has left his face, stands like at attention. This is a righteous task, Jaquez, and we shall take it up for you and the people of Solmania. We will weather this storm.
What is the Count's name?
Hmm?
What is
Oh.
the Count's name?
Is it Dicala?
No,
Or is it the castle?
This is castle.
I am pulling up the list of names of important NPCs because yes, this time I'm prepared.
Mhm.
Don't worry, I'm not breaking the third wall. I'm just keeping the accent going so I don't lose it. Yes, let's see. Count Heinrich.
Heinrich?
Heimlich?
Heinrich.
Heinrich.
Einricht. Heinrich.
Heinrich.
And not to dive too personally into your, personal affairs, what was the nature of the disagreement the last time you spoke? I wish to ensure that if we do not bring up your name, that he might immediately act hostile or aggressive.
I may or may not be the reason his wife left him.
I would turn. Then it would be best if we do not say that we are being sent by Mr. Bonaparte.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Say the king, not Jaquez. Jaquez will die if you say his name.
Good piece.
Also, probably you.
Good to know.
Yes, that's an important bit of information.
Yes. I thought it would not have come up. But he is, as I said, old and set in his ways. And very stubborn. Very, very stubborn. Makes a dwarf look calm.
And he is human, I take it? He is human?
Yes.
Insight
says more-
check.
Do I need to make an insight check?
more. He says more as a question than an answer.
I'm rolling an insight on that.
So don't I have to roll an insight on that?
Ralph believes
Sure.
it.
I mean, if you want to, you can go ahead. I just wasn't expecting to roll deception for him. Right. You know, I'm not even going to roll deception. I'm just going to give you a skill check to pass, and it's going to be very low because this was very obviously strained.
A billion.
You rolled a billion? What the fuck kind of dice are you using?
Hold
Well, I
on.
rolled 13.
The DC was like an 8. Like, he's clearly something is up. Obviously, he's not telling the full truth.
Mr. Bonaparte, I appreciate everything that you've done for us and the trust that you've put in us as a group. But if we are to succeed, it would benefit us to have all of the relevant information.
I just don't want you to get the wrong idea about the man before you had a chance to meet him, that's all. He is a good man, but he's... you're all weird. You'll understand. He's a vampire.
Oh,
A what?
A vampire. He has served the crown for over 300 years.
300 years?
Indeed.
That's before my father served.
pick a Gemini.
That's before your father's served, in fact. Yes. He is a very old ornery bastard. He has served the line of our king for 5 generations at least.
Interesting.
But, like I said, he is set in his ways, and he is very old. And his ways are not very modern, if you understand my meaning.
Very
No,
well.
I ask
If,
that this information does not leave this room. That is technically a national secret.
On my honor.
Yes, that is not something that That's his personal business. Obviously, I'm assuming the king knows about this.
Oh, yes, his entire line knows.
Then it is not a secret for us to tell.
Wonderful. I have no idea why I was so concerned. Oh, I need to go get a massage. My back is killing me.
Prison cells will do that.
Yes, unfortunately, stone is not very comfortable to lay on. But enough of my problems. Will you accept this quest?
If you trust us with it. I speak for myself, but yes.
Mr. Blink. Do you have any opinions on the matter?
Nope.
I think it is such. Well, time to talk payment. How does 1,000 gold apiece sound?
There's Blink it off. I think that's you know more about this kind of business.
I mean, I receive my weekly stipend. I assume my pay grade would be rising in my current position, but not necessarily the adventuring type. What are you offering, Jaquez?
1,000 gold apiece.
That sounds
Just 1,000 gold apiece.
awfully generous.
For
Were you wanting more?
for a lighter task, perhaps it would be a good offer, but I feel like you can do a little bit more.
Oh, I absolutely could, but you would never see 1,000 gold in your lifetime.
You're right. I'd like to see 2,000.
You will see 3,000 spread amongst all of you evenly.
Can I try to persuade him?
You can try to persuade him, but his charisma is his stats, sir. That's all I'm gonna say.
Natural 20 plus 6.
Well, shit, he didn't roll natural 20.
Taking in
Damn, Blink!
Yeah, you go ahead and add the inspiration. He did not roll a 20. He beat a 26, but he did not roll a natural 20. Shit.
Why are you asking me to,
Honestly,
to negotiate?
Because Gemini doesn't want to like make a decision for the party, but also like
That's more
Gemini,
gold I've seen in my entire life.
like Gemini doesn't want to like extort him, but at the same time, I have Vivify, and that'd be really nice to get some diamonds.
Sure, you can't do 2,000 apiece.
You as you say this, Jace kind of just looks over your shoulder and just gives you a silent nod of approval, just like wring him dry of all of his money. That is the least of that he deserves.
Yes.
And he's just like 1,500.
2,000.
1,700.
2,000.
Did
This is
he
not how
mention
negotiation works.
to Gemini? Didn't he mention there was going to be a vampire?
Yes. And this individual probably very hostile, not cooperative. And if we fail, the entire fate of this nation will crumble under Dragonfire.
That sounds awfully hazardous.
Probably.
Then we look back to the conversation between Blink and Jaquez.
I will pay 1,750 or no more.
You pay 2,000, and we'll even not kill the vampire for you.
That is assuming you could.
Get a lot more for a lot less. You know, I have been known to collect the pelts of werewolves in my past.
You do realize a werewolf is not very dangerous in comparison to a vampire lord, yes?
2,000.
I am not doubling your pay. I will pay 1,750 and no more.
Perfect. And I'm going to stand up. 1,800 it is. And I'm going to put my hand out.
He just places his hand on your shoulder and grabs your hand. I like this one. He knows how to bust some balls. Oh, you will get your pay. Do not worry, friends. Half up front, half when you return.
Sounds reasonable.
Excellent. I'll be sure to let my butlers know to get you your coin before you depart. Ooh, that was fun. I haven't had to negotiate like that in a while. That was exhilarating. Ooh. All right. Thank you. Now then. I have a more personal request to ask of you now. One that should not take much of your time and is of zero threat to you. It's something that you can do before even leaving the city.
We're at your service.
I love this man. He is so straightforward and to the point. No questions asked. My favorite kind of person. But you might want to actually hear me for this. This is, optional. So I'm going to be having a meeting with a few friends in about 30 minutes. I would like for you to join me as my +1, 2, and 3.
Friends.
Yes.
What about
People-
the cow?
What kind of friends?
You see Durgan just slowly turn his head towards you.
Steam out the nostrils.
Yep.
Jealous.
Oh boy. Not Durgan. He's got another task.
Oh,
If
look
you
at him
require, if you require an escort, then I would
This-
humbly
this-
accept.
That is the perfect title. You will be my escorts. Again, if you wish, this is completely optional. But I do believe it would be kind of beneficial for you to attend. You might learn something. You might even
Make-
pick up on a few secrets.
Make your meta decision.
This is an optional side quest.
When is this soiree to begin?
As I said, 30 minutes. I am running late.
Gemini is thinking back to earlier today. Goes, no, but is it?
Do you have a friend that's a kinder by chance?
I have many friends, some of which are in fact kinders, yes.
I'm gonna turn
I'm
and
a-
look at Gemini.
You don't think?
I do think it makes a lot of sense.
Is there some lack of information on my part that betrays this?
Not to your
Conversation?
knowledge.
It's similar to absconding with one's wife, I suppose.
I know you are kindred spirits.
Shall we get ready for this gathering?
Oh yes, we need to leave immediately. Otherwise, I'm going to be far past fashionably late. Let's go. I'll have the carriage called up in a moment. He says as he takes his hat and kind of gives Jace a glance before leaving the room, but she just stares at him the entire time. And he's like, "Hey, boy." You are left alone in the room with naught but yourselves and your NPC companions.
I might just be paranoid myself. Is anyone else thinking what I'm thinking?
It's a trap.
Not that's a. Actually, no. I actually didn't think it was a trap, but maybe.
But how do you mean a trap, Blink?
I was guessing his friends whose meeting is probably the kinder we introduced ourselves earlier in the day. I believe if we do go to this, it would be best to don a disguise. believable.
It would make sense of why they were walking in this direction.
But I
It
mean,
would. It would.
but- I can't help but ask, Blink, if they wanted us dead, then would he have not just done it now? Or why is he paying us?
I mean, he could just kill us and take his money back after we do all this work for him.
But we're in service to the king. How would he explain that?
I don't know. Money makes people do weird things.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't know. And well, I mean, perhaps it's best we just carry on with the mission, and we're not really tasked with being
Just ignore the party altogether.
Sir Bonaparte's escort. I mean, he said it was optional.
It's good. We could just not go to the soiree, I suppose.
And I'll look to Blink for like, or sorry, Gemini for like a little backup. Like, do you think it's actually a trap?
Not for us, no. Perhaps for him, it might be. If our paranoia is correct, then it is the same individual. That could get a little messy, but also might be able to clear up some things and head off a potential enemy before it's, well, happens. I do not see a. I believe going outweighs not going.
Could learn a little bit more information, I suppose, or establish some new contacts. Or
Perhaps Jacques might come into some danger, and well, if we were there, then we could prevent him from any harm, and well, of course, that would be ensuring our future payments as well.
That
Little job security.
That is my thought as well. If he would run into danger, we'd be able to assist.
Then it's decided.
Jace, if you don't mind
Yes.
me asking, what exactly happened?
I do not know what you are referring to.
Very well. I will not pry further. I suppose then it's decided. Shall we accompany him?
Blink.
I have no quarrels.
I believe we are stepping into your territory. No, that's not the word. Domain?
And Blink. Perhaps the disguise was a good idea. Something believable. Yes.
Well, I know what I'm gonna do. What's the two of you going to do?
Well,
Gemini does the completely unexpected thing of wearing all white.
Yeah. Yes, perhaps looking like guards would not be the best solution. I do not.
I'd surmise, like, I don't have like a full plate. My get up is chainmail, and I presume like a tabard that hangs over it.
Right.
Perhaps I could just like remove my tabard.
That would be
and, like,
removing any sign of regalia from you. So yeah, you just look like a
Yeah.
guy wearing chainmail.
and,
If that's
I
what you
suppose
wish, you
this will do as I pull my tabard up over my head and stuff it in my pack.
It looks like a very adventurer.
Oh, wait, a moment, and I'll